and Samuel functioned in this priestly duties there. We also find that when Saul and his men inquired about the seer, the people seemed to have known instantly that they were referred to as Samuel. It was Samuel who was the seer who began the school of the prophet. So, I mean, instantly the people, they knew who the prophet was. Even though Samuel was a seer, he started the school of the prophet, but he also was a prophet. Samuel was a prophet. He had the gift to prophesy. But he saw, to be able to start the school of the prophets, he was able to see, to move in the spirit, knowing that this was the direction that God had him. He had the gift of prophecy, but he was able to see in the realm as a seer. That's how I should put it. He didn't walk in the office of prophet. He had the gift of prophecy, but he walked in the office of a seer. Okay? Let's just finish. I think this is the last page. Yeah. So let's wrap this up. Go ahead and finish that for me, Minister Tice. Go to verse 15.
Verse 15 at that same chapter indicates that Saul was welcomed by Samuel, because Samuel had apparently been told by the Lord that Saul was coming. Now the Lord had told Samuel in his ear a day before Saul came. This phrase in the ear is
because what are your ears? They're gates. So if your ears are full of a lot of junk, anything other than the spirit, then you won't be sensitive to hear when God will speak or when He's speaking to you. So Samuel was able to hear. That's why God ministered to him, whispered in his ear the day before that he said to come up or where to go. And so if we have a lot of people in our ears, or you're the type of person where you always got to have somebody give you advice, or you always got to give advice, or, you always got to have somebody, laying their problems on you or speaking, that tightens your spirit. If you are not here put on earth to solve everybody's problems. So if you got people constantly, dumping on you their problems, then it really does. If you don't have a consistent prayer life, and if you don't know how to intercede to release, because even when we counsel individuals, we may counsel a person, but we release ourselves before we get into our home, because you don't want to be carrying other people's mess in your presence. In your home. That's your sanctuary. So you have to be careful what you allow to enter into your spirit. So you have to recognize that your ears, your eyes are doors. They're gates to the spirit realm. Your mouth is a gate to the spirit realm. Every open area in your body is a gate to the spirit realm. That's why if you're having sex and you're now married, that's why any spirit that can be released, because that's another door. That's a gate. It has not the legal right to enter if you're not married. No one else should be able to enter that gate until you become one with somebody. And it's the same way when you start allowing a lot of people to speak mess into your ears. You're taking your spirit. Sometimes we can take on so much junk and garbage till we literally just earthly bound, and we're heavenly no good. Because you can't reach to heaven when you're so bound by earth. And a lot of times people, they'll pick your spirit. They'll know how sensitive you are, especially Satan. He'll know how sensitive you are and what's your weakness. Do you have that weakness of compassion? You're so compassionate toward people so they can always spill on you, and you don't know how to release yourself from that. And you carry their weight and yours. You are. I'm like, you cross the line. There are not even a really good to this conversation right now. I really can't go here with you. You'll find a way to shut them down. You just never know. I'm sanctified. Because when you're up and you're moving, your spirit may be more guarded. But when you're down and relaxed, so is your spirit, then you're open. So you're open for everything to be, that's why you have to be careful when you watch certain programs on television. Because you're comfortable, you're in a relaxed mode, you're in a receiving mode. So since you're in that receiving mode, whatever you're pouring into your spirit right now is going to stay. And it's going to start to entertain your mind. And that's when all these crazy thoughts start popping up. And you start thinking about, Joe Blow, old boyfriend, old girlfriend, where you go way back. See, that thing is having power. Because, like I said, when we go to the movies, and if we were to see something scary, Apostle will jump. Well, I won't. But he saw it as like, it happened. But I saw it as and I immediately, I looked for the fakeness in it. I looked to see how they made it. I like, oh, that's stuff in it. Oh, that's not real. Oh, that's a double. So I don't see it as being real. So it's the way you perceive a thing. Right. I knew it wasn't real. So it's the way you perceive it. These days, they're getting so creative. You really got to be in the spirit. But it's the way you look at it. It's just like when something comes on you. When you're dealing with something, it's how you perceive that thing. Do you make it real? And sometimes because of the mode or the mood or where we may be in when we receive a certain thing, when you receive certain information, it's just like what she said, go back to what she said, Captain Thomas said. Wherever you are spiritually, when you receive certain information, will allow that information to house in you. And that will allow you to be able to display it or release it in a certain way or how you receive it. Or do you receive it? You can reject it or you can receive it. But if you hear certain things and you grasp it, like this is it, like it really happened, then you allow yourself to become a part of that, and it has more power over you than you have power. Then you're allowing yourself to demonstrate the power, I should say. See? So that's why we have to recognize who we are. That's why you need to know how you are, what state you're in when you're receiving information. Certain times of the day, I won't even answer my phone. Apostle will tell you. At certain times and certain moods because I am a prophet, I know my mood. We do have PMS, prophetic mood swings. We really do. So I've learned to know my mood. So certain times, my phone will ring, I will not answer it. I don't care who it is. It could even be my mother. And I will not answer it. And I love my mother dearly. But it's just because I know where I am at that time. And there's certain information I don't want to hear. And it has to be the right timing for me to receive what I want to receive. And I'll know how to reject it, how to release it, and how to deal with it. So, just because something comes to you, you don't have to take it. You are the Lord over you in that situation. So don't make yourself available to everyone. Amen. To everything. Amen. Don't make yourself available to everything. Yes. Because literally, when you do, you end up carrying more than what you can handle. Especially if you don't have a consistent prayer life. You just open pray. If you're not consistently in your prayer life and everybody is dumping on you and everybody, you should get them there fighting back there. And everyone's dumping on you, then you need to be sensitive